We got someone on a bike. Definite
That's a
suspect.
first.
I'm feeling this biker. Wait, that looks like the guy in the pictures.
Kinda does, right?
Oh wait, he's dismounted.
That does look like the guy from the picture.
Do you know this person? You know this person?
Do you know this person?
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Someone's lying. It's your ex-husband?
No way.
Is it really? Your ex-husband?
Unbelievable. So you were lying to us.
You did catfish us.
Hey, I'm Neve. Why don't you just tell us what's going on?
Did you know it was her?
Oh, not until I got like to right by this tree right
No.
here. I thought like this was gonna be a first time meeting. That's what I'm
That's
wondering like
shiny.
what's going on.
But
I
didn't
met
she
her.
tell you her name via the text? Didn't she say, "Oh, my name is Shawnee"?
I said my name is
Yeah.
Shawnee.
Right.
This is not Shawnee.
I don't understand.
No,
What's
like,
your name?
Not a Shawnee.
Ebony.
Your name is not Shawnee?
No.
Why wouldn't you tell us that?
Because I thought that you guys wouldn't help me.
Help
guess-
you do what?
Try to get my family back together.
You did catfish us.
You were right.
I was right. Kind of.
What the hell's going on here?
Well, it all started when I got a new phone and I called Brandon.
Is that your actual name?
Yeah.
He didn't answer the phone, but he texted back later that night trying to see who I was. He told me his name was Jack.
Why didn't you just say your name?
I know it was.
Okay,
I'm
right.
about to just give
Okay.
everybody my real name.
No, I didn't tell him who I was.
I just want to get this straight. So you got a new phone,
Yeah.
called Brandon, you didn't answer.
No.
You then texted, "Who is this?" That's how this all started.
Yeah. We weren't talking at the time. We were in the process of separating then.
Wait, so hold on. And what did
News,
you think for
everything.
5 months when you couldn't get this girl on the phone?
She said she was doing music, so I figured like maybe, and she talked about traveling a lot, so I figured.
You,
Music?
Shawnee, was doing music and traveling a lot. You took every chapter out of the catfish book.
Well, he catfished me and I catfished him
When
back.
did he catfish you?
Because he told me his name was Jack.
That's because you're some stranger hitting him up on, you know.
Yeah.
Time out. Ebony, you did all this stuff.
Yeah.
You lied to us. You lied to Brandon. You lied and cheated your way here. For what?
I felt like I didn't know what else to do. Honestly, we were living in the same house and we weren't even talking to one another. And the kids would see that all the time. And I just thought like maybe he could talk to me as a different person. How is it that you can just maintain for 5 months being like the perfect person ever just about, and like for 16 years you couldn't even get it together? Like, why can't we do that as Brandon and Ebony? I don't want to have to be somebody else to be loved.
So did you catfish us and him in order to force this conversation? Because you could have had this conversation with him without us, theoretically.
I've tried, but we just argue and it made it worse. It made everything worse.
Okay, so it's not my
Understand.
business,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to be a marriage counselor here, but we were under the impression from her side of the story that you had been involved with one or some other people.
He's been with all of
Right, but
Rochester.
She felt that your eyes were drifting elsewhere for a long time.
I look at everybody. I mean, I'm looking at y'all. I feel like everybody out here is beautiful. You know what I mean? It's look at the scenery. You know, I look at a lot of stuff, but that don't mean I'm like I love trees. I love animals. I don't have sex with them. That
But-
we would be little.
In regards to women,
I love women.
Do you-
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see like why no one would love women.
Right.
Even women should love women.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
What do you want, though? Do you want to try to work this out?
Yeah, like anything can be worked out. I don't see why not. There's not no compromise. Like some things I feel can be compromised. I mean, every relationship ain't gotta be the same. I'd rather have like more of a freedom type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm speaking a little vague, but I think she understands what I'm talking about.
He wants to have his cake and eat it too.
I
Understand that
never agree
expression.
with that expression. I never agree with that. Ain't no reason to have cake if you're gonna have it sitting in front of you. I'm gonna eat it. And if it's offered again, I'm gonna get another piece.
Well, so here's the question. Okay. Clearly, you guys still have love for each other.
Yeah, we
And
do.
you still desire a family together.
I want to be with him, but I don't want to keep being played.
That doesn't sound like you want to be in a relationship with someone who's constantly sleeping with other people.
No, unless we're both sleeping with other people. I want to be in an equal relationship.
But do you want to be sleeping with other people?
Yeah, if he's not sleeping
No,
with
no,
me.
no, no, no. Do you want to sleep with other
No.
people? No. Which means that ideally you don't want him sleeping with other people.
Right.
Hello. Hello.
Hi again.
We meet
Hi.
again.
Yeah.
How are you guys, just friends or?
I'm God's sister.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I actually can't wait for him to finally just meet her.
So, it was you the whole time? Why though?
It was just supposed to be a lesson that needed to be learned. When you told me about Sierra, I told you from jump I didn't think that that was a good idea.
Are we talking about Sierra we just met? So you gotta fill us in here.
Sierra told me she had a crush on Lante, and I told her not to pursue it.
Why?
Because you're my friend, that's my brother. I don't want to be in the middle, so I gave her her proof that you were talking to other people on Facebook.
Oh. I'm not saying that that's not what happened, but it feels like you didn't want some other girl to be with Alante because you wanted to be with Alante.
No, not at all. Like I said, that's my brother.
Well, he's not your brother. You're not actually related.
No,
Okay.
not blood related. no.
Right. But you're very close, and he's your god brother.
Yes.
At what point did you make a fake profile, decide to name it
I had
Nevaeh?
already made it.
Okay.
So it was just something originally that me and all my friends did in high school
Right.
because I had some friends who were, hey, add my boyfriend or add this person. So I added them as Nevaeh's friend, and immediately they would poke her on Facebook, direct message her, and that right there was your proof that he'll engage in a conversation with somebody else.
So why keep this Nevaeh profile
Right.
going so long with Alante?
Why keep it going for
Because
8
after
years?
a while, I told Sierra, I was like, you think it's time? Is it time for me to just let it go? And Sierra, no, write her back.
Why do you have her back over his?
I mean, because I'm a female, so I knew what she was going through.
This sounds like bull.
I mean,
This is like killing me right now, like for real.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm gonna stick my head in for a second.
What's he doing?
Sure, you must be pretty nervous.
I just didn't know that he was standing right there.
Okay. Take it easy. Just take a second. I'm assuming you're Rosa.
Yep.
This is like so weird, bro.
Just be yourself, be honest. Say whatever it is that you feel comfortable saying. Okay?
I'm ready.
Oh my God, bro.
Say something. I'll start the conversation. This is Jose. As I understand, Jose has been Rosa.
Yep. This is just crazy, man. What are you doing, man?
I didn't mean for this to happen like this.
Aren't you ashamed of yourself, bro?
I am ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
I am, and I'm not gonna lie.
What is this, man? Why would you do something like that?
I never meant, I never meant to hurt nobody else. I was trying to hurt the person in the picture.
The girl in the picture? Why, do you know her?
Natalie.
So you know Natalie?
I went to school.
In Florida.
I was trying to get her to feel the pain that I felt. I used to be bullied in school, by her and obviously a group of other people.
So you created the account to take revenge on her?
Basically, yeah.
You made that account in high
I
school?
was in high school. I was in 9th grade.
And how old are you now?
I'm 26 now.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Whatever you have against this girl, bro, what does that have to do with me? You don't play with people like that. You don't do that to people. I'm over here making plans. I'm like all into this girl. What were you actually planning on getting out of this? Eventually, we're gonna find out the truth. This is just crazy, man. It's embarrassing, actually.
It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I am.
You need some help. You need to go to church. You need to get involved. You need to speak to someone. You can't just lock yourself in there and make believe you're a woman. If you like men, holla at a dude that likes men. Simple as that,
Sorry.
man. What you did was wrong.
And I admit it.
And
What I did.
I have nothing to say to you, man. This is an embarrassment, for real. I'm done here. This dude is sick, bro.
Hello. I'm Max.
Makeda.
Nice to meet you.
I just can't believe she's standing in front of me right now. It's just
What's that like?
mind blowing. I didn't think she was actually gonna meet me.
6 hours ago, we thought we were flying to Kansas City, Missouri. We just found out your name is Makeda. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about who you are, since we don't know you?
I just turned 20 like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I live with my mother and my sister and my brother.
Do you strip?
No.
It's not a crazy question.
Right.
I mean,
That says it on the page that's the only thing she knows about you.
put that up there to fill in the blanks it was like an empty page. And the purpose of the page wasn't to catfish people, it was for my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
To catch him cheating, and then I added a lot of people on the page to make it seem real, and then we just started talking, and then it got out of control. I'm not a liar, I'm really not. I just did it because it felt right at that moment.
But do you have feelings for Talesia?
No.
I don't know really what to say.
When you started the Text Plus number, that was, again, for your ex?
To make it seem like I was really in Kansas City,
So that was for her?
basically.
Okay, so that wasn't for your ex?
No.
If you didn't have feelings, why would you go through all of that, though? You didn't have to give her a
Just
number.
some random girl that you met on your fake page.
You must have felt some type of way.
No, all right, so I kind of felt bad about the situation you was in with your ex-boyfriend. So that's why I started to say oh, I like you, you're pretty and stuff, so that you can forget about him. It was so many times I wanted to say okay, my name is not Shay, this is a fake page, but I didn't know how to get out of it.
I'm lost for words.
It's always a big deal to meet someone on the internet that you think you're in love with. This is extra big deal Talesia, she has not told many people in her life that she's been talking to a female in a romantic way.
I'm sorry.
Well, I wouldn't say it's okay because it's not, because I had got my feelings involved. And I wasn't into girls, but I am now.
So are you interested in girls?
That's what I was gonna say. Not really.
I mean,
You never had romantic feelings for her?
There's a difference between liking somebody and being in love with somebody.
Right, but there's a difference between liking someone because they're fun and they're your friend and liking someone because you want to go down. It's fine, unless you did, and you're not ready to admit that, and that's fine too. You could have stopped talking to her as Shay, you could have friended her as you, if you wanted to continue having some sort of friendship, but you didn't, because you liked the relationship that Shay had with Talesia.
Yeah, basically.
So at some point, you had some kind of romantic feelings towards Talesia.
I don't know. You know, it's just confusing. It's like a whole lot.
That's all right.
Sure.
So maybe you're not ready to answer that question.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Isaiah?
Yeah, I'm Isaiah, Kurt's boyfriend. Marvin?
Yes.
I'm Isaiah. Nice to finally meet you. So, Austin's not a real person.
I'm aware of that.
Kurt is behind it.
So Kurt is the one who's been operating the profile.
Yeah, he's evidently pretending to be someone else, and I don't know why. I wish I knew why. It would make my situation a lot easier. Once I found out about it, I tried to, put a stop to all of this. And I am truly, from the bottom of my heart, you can't understand, I am so sorry for what he's put you through.
I hope to see him.
I think we better go pay Kurt a visit.
He went to a friend's house, and he knows you guys are here. He has to know you guys are coming.
Okay.
Do you want me to text you the address?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bye, thank you.
I don't like my feelings being played like that, and my time.
Guys, I'm actually seeing on this map that we can just walk.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm ready for this to get over with. All right.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Hi, Kurt?
No, I'm Jason.
You're Jason. Is Kurt here?
Yeah, just a second.
Thanks.
Who was that?
Hi there.
Well, are you Kurt?
Yeah, I'm Kurt.
I want to introduce you to Marvin.
Hi there. I'm Kurt.
Kurt. Why'd you lie to me?
Well, you weren't really talking to me.
You mean I wasn't?
Okay. Can you guys explain what's going on here?
I knew about the profile. I even helped create the profile. But you're actually talking with Kylie.
What?
I actually have spoken to you on the phone before.
This is the sister.
All of us had the password to the profile. All of us saw every message.
Are you the only people involved in this, or are there more people?
No.
Involved in the profiles, that was just us.
But how can you
Yeah,
justify
go
that?
back to the beginning and explain this. I need to get all the facts here.
Originally, the profile was created to bust cheaters. That was the entire...
That was the intent.
Well, I wasn't cheating on anyone.
You unfortunately got caught in the crossfire, and we started talking to you quite a bit. And I guess we liked you.
How did you guys do it?
I made the Facebook profile. I didn't talk to anyone on any of the profiles. I was just she liked talking to Marvin.
What did you have to do with it?
I found people to target.
Because you somehow knew which guys were probably cheating on their boyfriends.
Had a feeling.
Even though we have hurt you, we really care about you.
That's it? That's all you guys got? How many other Marvins are there?
There was probably only about 10 to 15 that held conversations.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
15 Marvins.
I wouldn't
you
say
talk
that.
to the
You're the
most.
only person we have a friendship with.
But that's, well, depends what you call a friendship.
Just for morbid curiosity, what did you do when you found out that someone was kind of flirting extracurricularly? Did you out them?
We outed one person.
So one person for all the Marvins and whoever else you guys were dragging through this, you got one person?
Yes.
It's a lot of collateral damage, don't you think, for one victory?
I feel like I've been tormented for the past 3 months. Y'all playing with my feelings.
What made you think that all this was real?
I don't know, I was giving it a chance. It's not fair. It's not fair that I get taunted with saying, why do you think this is real? Why are you making this account?
Yeah, I don't understand the question. Why wouldn't he think this was real?
Do you really think that somebody like that would live here?
That's not what we're talking about.
That's not.
I wouldn't be so ready to be sending pictures and stuff like that. And
You're not about to blame the victim here, are you? Because that sounds like where you're going with this, and that would be really f***ed up.
I think that's what he needs to know.
Well, I think he can come to that his own conclusion himself. That's not your job.
You're not in the position to teach him any lessons right now.
Then why do you show your pictures and stuff like that?
You entrapped him.
I get it.
Yeah, am I in crazy world?
Because
I want you to
it's
listen.
like,
But that's what I want you to know for me. That's the reason
I
why
understand what you're saying. At least I am honest.
You found a vulnerable guy who had just moved to town. You're tempting him with a good-looking guy, and you're asking for pictures, and then you're gonna blame the person that you're seducing?
Well, none of our
You're
intention
shaming
was
him
to
for
shame him.
falling into a trap.
I don't feel like anything we could say to you is gonna
Make you feel any
make
better.
you feel better.
And that's probably correct. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Jesus Christ. What assholes.
Hello? Hi. Hey. What's up?
What's up?
I'm Neve. Blue. Okay.
Is he talking to someone?
Yeah.
Kept us waiting there for a while.
I got nervous.
You all right? You ready to do this? Cause came a long way.
I'm ready.
Okay. This is Blue. This is Yasmin. This is Max.
So, what's your actual name?
Kira.
Kira. How do you identify yourself in terms of your gender?
A female.
Female.
Look, I did not do this to hurt you. I love you. I do.
If you loved me, you would have been honest when I told you, if you're lying again, I'm never gonna have anything to do with you. If you loved me, you wouldn't have continued lying to me. If you loved me, you would have told me you weren't even a guy.
You know, the pictures, that wasn't me. My life, all of that was real. My personality, all of that was real. I can't fake none of that.
Was the car accident real?
Yeah.
Your cousin got into a car accident?
And who is Brianna? Is that a friend?
Yeah.
What's the story? How did it start? How did the Lewis account start?
I started it for a Twitter promotion group. to gain more retweets and followers and stuff. So I made it as Lewis. With him on Twitter, I was getting more followers.
Why not reach out to her as yourself?
Cause at the moment, you know, I didn't know whether she liked girls or not. So, you know, I didn't want to make her feel all uncomfortable, you know, just flirting with her and stuff. I'm sorry.
If you were so sorry, why would you continue it?
Insecurities.
Insecurity about what?
Myself, my looks.
Do you know how many times I sat up and cried to you? Told you my deepest secrets. Called into work because you said, oh, babe, I'm having a hard day. I don't want you to go to work. I want you to give me all of your attention.
And I appreciate that.
You told me to get Lewis tatted on me. Insecurities doesn't tell you to tell someone to tattoo a name that's not even yours on their body.
You ever been caught up in the moment?
I just don't understand how you can blatantly tell me to do things like that and laugh about it like it's nothing.
Who was laughing? When was I ever laughing about it?
Like it's nothing. You were just caught up in the moment like it's nothing.
I've never thought this was funny, and I damn sure don't think it's a joke. See, that's what you fail to realize. You don't get your all the way through your head. You don't. You believe what you want to believe.
What if she had tattooed Lewis on her arm or something?
I mean, if she did, you know, she could have got it covered up. I mean, of course I wouldn't. I was just talking.
Exactly. You were just talking.
About the mother name. Goddamn. Bitch, you don't want to listen to what I got to say, man? Yo.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Neve.
Hey, Neve.
Did we speak on the phone?
Yeah, I'm the one that you talked to on the phone.
So, Lanham.
Lanham.
But, is that...
No, it's not real name.
That's not your name. What's your name?
It's Marcus.
Okay, Marcus. Why don't you follow me out here to... Okay. So this is...
Hey.
Marcus, AKA Lanham. And that's about as far as we got.
Okay, who are you?
I'm Marcus. I'm from Dallas.
How old are you?
I'm 43.
And how long have you been doing this?
For like the last 3 years. I actually created the persona in 2013, in December. I remember that. Because I tried online dating, and I just didn't get any response and stuff.
So what happened? You turned 40, and we're just like, I'm gonna start catfishing.
It just started off as a social experiment, and then it turned into an addiction. Something that, you know, got a hold of me when I was vulnerable. You know, I couldn't understand why people, you know, women couldn't, you know, online, couldn't like dig me.
Did you have any brothers that died?
No.
So those stories were all...
Yeah, I just made that up.
For why? Why did you make that up?
Well, I didn't know if we were gonna meet or not, because I work nights and then I sleep during the day, so it's kind of hard to, it kills your social life working at night. So I had to kind of create something to where my time was limited.
You know what kills your social life? When you think you're dating someone that you're in love with and you're gonna have kids with and you're not meeting anyone else because someone's feeding you bullshit over the phone. That's what kills your social life. What do you have to say to this girl right here? I mean, is she the youngest girl you've ever catfished?
Yes.
You were pretending to be a 25-year-old.
Right.
Among other things.
Man, I'm really sorry.
Well, why at any point in us talking did you not tell me?
I wanted to tell you,
Well,
and I
you
should
could have just told me. You could have just told me, and it would have gone way differently.
I should have told you. I want to stop doing this. That's the whole deal. And I thought that she would be the perfect one to have the opportunity to come clean with and see if there might be a chance.
See if there might be a chance that it'll work out between you guys?
Maybe. I mean, my feelings for her are genuine. I really do care about her.
Yeah, but you were talking to someone else for half the time that you were supposed to be in love with her.
Yeah, what happened?
Telling her the same thing.
Kylie?
Yeah.
That was a mistake. With Kylie, I got so intrigued with how she acted. I mean, she was very, she enjoyed sexting, and I got caught up in it. But what I feel for you is genuine, it's real.
It's not.
It is.
How can you say that when nothing that I know of you is real at all? Nothing. Not one thing.
Since we've been making the show, every girl or guy that's ever been in Ari's place fears that they're talking to some mid-40-something-year-old man who's sad, sitting at home in his crusty boxers, like typing into the computer. And you're that guy. We finally met you. And that sucks for you.
Right, totally.
Yeah, but it also sucks even more for Ari and all the other girls whose time you wasted. I think this is him. Sam?
Yeah.
Do you know this person?
No.
Who are you?
Sam.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
Monterey.
You are from Monterey.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 19.
So that stuff was true?
Yeah.
Did you go to school with Dom?
No.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I've been around him through mutual friends.
You've never actually met him?
Nah.
And how long have you been pretending to be him?
Pretty much just a year.
Just a year?
Yeah.
So what that you told me is true?
Pretty much, basically everything. Just not the person in the pictures.
Why don't you kind of just tell us your side of this and just kind of take us back and kind of explain how this happened, how you guys
started
met.
the profile.
I mean, this isn't an excuse, but like in high school, I got made fun of a lot because I have feminine features. So I wanted to know like if I was different, more manly looking and everything, like how would people accept me differently?
What was your intention with Kailani?
I never actually thought I would get that far.
You knew what she was going through with a guy who had lied to her and led her on and deceived her and sort of put her through hell.
Yeah.
And while, yes, you were there and supportive, you knew that eventually she would find out and that it would only hurt her even more.
And that's why like I couldn't really tell her, you know, like I didn't know how to tell her on top of everything else that she's been going through.
You've been leading me on this whole time.
No, I actually got really strong feelings for you.
What about Adriana? You got real feelings for her also?
Adriana wasn't anything compared to how I talked to Kailani.
And what about Melvin?
It's just sort of like testing, I guess, the waters. But I don't do that.
Have you ever had a relationship with a man?
Nah. I never meant to hurt you, because I really do care about you. I really do. I do love you.
It's really hard for me to believe that when you were telling Adriana that you cared about her as well.
But I cared about her as like a friend. Like, I don't even know her that long. Like,
I mean, you don't even know her in person either.
yeah. But like, I don't have feelings for her like that.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Neve.
Hi.
Mary. Good to meet you. And this is Dylan.
Yep.
So we obviously have a lot of questions.
Gosh. I just want you to know, I wasn't trying to hurt you. You are my person, and you know that. You've been my person. He's always been there, no matter what.
I didn't want it to be like this. I love you and I care about you. And I'm so, so sorry about all this.
Why pretend to be somebody else?
I've been doing this for a very long time. I've always been that outcast girl, so then when you go to another world like internet, you get to be whoever you want.
And what about the girl whose pictures you're using?
Her name is really Allie. She's caught me before. She has said some rude things to me, but not, I mean, who wouldn't? I've been stealing her pictures.
What about your story that Dylan knows is true? You said a lot of things about where you worked and what you wanted your dreams. And
Maybe some things I did say were not correctly right. I do go to college.
Are you studying to be in the medical
Yes,
profession?
I do want to be a general surgeon.
But you don't work at a hospital?
No.
Obviously, Dylan's gone through a pretty traumatic last couple years and was pushing people away. Why did you fight to stay in his life?
He was my person when I needed him, and I was going to be there even if I wasn't the real person.
Did you feel bad
Oh,
that
yeah.
you had been lying to him at that point?
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel good.
Have you tried to actually stop it?
Yeah, I've tried and I just go back. There's something that pushes me to go back.
The real girl's contacting you and your cousin's selling you out. Clay and Mason, Clay thought he was talking to
they confronted
Allie's
you about
sister,
it.
and right, all these people are kind of like confronting you now.
Like, it's weird to say to people, like, it's like my addiction. It's weird to come out, but it's like the attention and the strive to get that attention, and you'd pretty much do anything you could to get that attention.
You said the word addiction.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of an admission that things have kind of gotten out of control.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stop by myself, and I know it's not going to, ever.
Hey, Tony. How you doing, man?
So nervous.
Take a deep breath. Why don't you step on out here?
Good looking guy.
Right? Nobody lied.
This is Tony. This is Colleen. Hello. How you doing?
Nervous.
Yeah, that's all right. I think you're only slightly more nervous than Colleen is.
I don't know if that's possible right now.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm awesome.
All right, well, that's nice.
No one has ever walked out the door and said, I'm awesome.
Nice to meet you, finally.
Nice to finally meet you, too. But why did you say that I told you I was 25? I've never once told you I was 25. And when did you send me hundreds of dollars?
I apologize. Honestly, I was just scared. I kind of just made it up as I went along, which wasn't the most honest thing to do. I have a lot of self-esteem issues, and I was kind of insecure that you wouldn't accept me for who I am.
Who are you?
Jeremy Antonio.
So, your name is Jeremy, but you go by Tony.
My middle name is Tony.
The phone number you have is from Washington. Have you previously lived there?
When I was 18, I moved to Washington. And I instantly loved the place. I just always felt like I wish I would have been born there. And I knew I was gonna come back, but I wanted a reason to.
So that's why you were looking to meet women in Spokane?
Yeah.
Why were you pretending to be this other guy on Plenty of Fish?
It wasn't the most honest thing to do. I just wanted to see if it would work. I'm not a stereotypical black guy. It makes me more inclined to date Caucasian women because I feel like, you know, I can be myself. I can dress like this. I can watch science fiction movies and do whatever it is that I want to do. I don't want to be viewed as a stereotype.
Do you find that's your experience?
That's commonly the case.
So non-black women generally sort of assume that you're a certain type of person because of your skin.
Yeah.
We'd have a lot in common. I mean, why wouldn't you let me be the judge of everything?
I'm sorry, Colin. I just pray that you can forgive me.
I really wanna. Just gotta promise me no more lies.
I'll get on my knees right now. Colleen, these last couple months changed my life. I never want to lie to you. I just want to make you happy. I'm sorry. I'll do anything to keep moving forward with you. You still want to marry me?
Yes. I don't want to give up on you. Something's telling me not to.
Can we celebrate? I don't know. I mean, this is amazing. You guys seem to really have the connection that you felt for the past 3 months in person. And yes, there's going to be some adjusting to the new reality, but this is exciting. Yeah.
There's a footer on a bike.
Through the hedges.
It's a girl.
Do you know this girl?
Yes.
Who is she?
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm Neve.
Hey.
What's your name?
Shayna.
Shayna. Hello, this is Max.
Hi.
Johnny.
Are you Connor?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Who is Shayna?
Just some girl.
Just some girl.
How do you know Johnny? Why have you created Connor?
Me and him had like a thing going on.
What kind of thing?
Like we went on dates, we kissed, and
You hooked up?
yeah, like I fell for him
When?
between like August, September.
Just last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, over the course of a couple weeks?
Yes.
I thought he was gay.
I thought he was straight.
Well,
This is so embarrassing.
according to what you've told us, it sounded like you were only interested in men. You didn't know that.
No, because we had a thing going on, you know. So I feel like if you were gay, why didn't you just tell me?
And did you develop feelings for him?
Yeah, a lot.
And then what happened?
And then on the show, he comes out as, you know, liking men, and I like what the hell?
I wasn't talking to her at the time when the episode aired.
But were you dating or talking before? it
Yeah.
did? How did things end with you guys?
He just like, you know, like just stop talking to me, just drop me. You at least could let me know. Don't just leave somebody hanging. You could have just been upfront, like, you know what, this isn't going anywhere, did it?
Right.
But
Sounds
it
very
never
familiar,
did.
yeah. And then how did the Connor profile come to be?
I saw the show, and I feel like, okay, what could I do to kind of like get back at him maybe a little bit?
You made Connor.
Yes.
You matched on Tinder.
How did you know all that stuff about Cameron?
Mutual friends. He used to talk about his ex a lot.
Johnny.
Johnny.
I mean,
Johnny. We'll get to Johnny in a second. Do you still have feelings for Johnny?
Yeah, I do.
This is a very poetic situation, isn't it? Do I need to point out the irony here? We all get
This
it.
is so up. I have a defense. I did defend
let's hear
myself.
it.
Let's hear it.
So like,
I can't wait.
so what she said was true. We did have a thing going on. But in my defense, we would only talk through Snapchat or Facebook or whatever.
Then you met in person multiple times.
Yeah, but you don't tell somebody. That's like,
No, but you had a way to communicate.
yeah, but I don't want to tell somebody. I don't want to break somebody's heart.
No, but you could have.
That's
break my heart.
That's
You could have
rude.
told me. It would have been better if you told me like right now
But,
and
like,
direct.
All right, well, stop. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay? Why did you stop hanging out with Shayna?
I don't want this to come off as like I was just using you or like exploring my sexuality, because I did like what we had, but I just wasn't interested.
But you should have said that. Why didn't you say it? You had plenty of time to say it right in my face. It's like, no. You had plenty of time to say it.
It's just amazing to me how you spent all day yesterday whining. Cameron didn't give me clear signals. Meanwhile, you did the exact same thing to Shayna. Yes, while what Shayna did, pretending to be Connor and drawing you out into this thing, is up, it's a wash. This is karma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like, you had plenty of time to tell me.
Yeah, I know, I get that now.
I really don't think you get it whatsoever.
I don't know what to say. This whole thing is embarrassing.
So how do you think I felt?
Jesus, I can't believe this played out this way.
It's him.
He's real.
It's him.
He's real and he's alive and he looks like him too.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm Max.
Meet you.
Hi.
Brandon. Yes, sir.
Neve.
Good to meet you.
Just checking.
So, seeing as it is you, that obviously raises some questions for us.
Where's your truck? What's up with that phone call?
My truck's broken again, like always. So that's why I got my four-wheeler up, Bird.
So you just had that, okay?
That's what I use
why
on
we're
the
in
hunt
middle of
property all the
nowhere.
time when I'm working food plots and all that stuff. That's the beast that I use.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
This morning freaked us all out.
Yeah.
It had
That
me
wasn't cool.
freaked out a little bit too. So
Could handle it like more calmly and
I
irrationally.
was aggravated already, and
Well, it felt like you were hiding something or you're a totally different
if I was
person.
hiding something, I'd be over the hills right now.
Well, right.
I
So,
wouldn't be standing here.
but the truck is actually at a shop.
Oh yeah.
So that just happened to happen today.
Yeah.
And
oh,
in
yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah. It happens every time I try to see you. I know.
What happened in Louisiana? How did that all go down?
That, we were supposed to meet. She had to leave on Friday, which Mudfest went till Sunday.
It started on Wednesday.
Uh-huh. Who shows up on a Wednesday, though?
People who work.
Yeah, I work during the week.
That's a good point.
So you just genuinely did plan on getting there
I really
and
did.
seeing her, but
Oh, yeah.
you got hung up and you missed her by a few hours or something.
We actually took pictures of, I took a picture of myself in our campsite, and she was in my campsite and took a picture of herself. We missed each other by like 2 hours.
What about visiting her in Texas?
I've always, not very wealthy person, pretty strapped for cash usually, and always dealing with my truck, and that's a, long ways to go on a broken truck.
Who's William?
William, that's
Yes.
my pops, my old man.
It was the dad, after all.
Yeah, that's my dad.
We were also a little curious, when we spoke to your friend, Justin. He hadn't heard about Kelsey. He had never mentioned her.
I keep, pretty much my stuff, my business to me. I've mentioned her, to friends, but not like, told them everything about her, stuff like that. They'll see me, looking at my phone, text messages and stuff and smiling and whatever. Who's that? Well, it's Kelsey.
I mean, that answers most of our questions.
I'm not done.
You're not done?
Nope.
You're not convinced?
You got to pass a few more tests before I'm willing to bless this. You don't have another girlfriend right now?
No,
You don't have
absolutely not.
some girl in some other zip code?
No.
So do you have feelings for Kelsey that are in line with everything you've told her on the phone and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. She's an awesome girl. Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Are you on the universe's side yet, Max? Are you officially on the universe's side, Max?
Yes, he's been telling the truth. You got yourself a real deal
Redneck Romeo.
You got yourself a redneck Romeo.
I like
Finally get that damn hug. It's only been 4 years. What are you talking about?
Hi. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
What's up? Dean, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it him?
Yeah, that's the voice.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
All right, well, come on out, I guess. Go ahead. Not sure what to say. This is April, as you know, I
Hi.
presume.
Oh, God.
You're you, which is a surprise for us.
Yeah.
Just curious, why didn't you meet up with us yesterday?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was just nerves, man. I just overthought myself into a position where I wasn't comfortable, and I didn't know if she would like me or not, you know? I mean, I was kind of scared on that aspect, to be honest.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 23.
So that's all true. And do you really not have a phone right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. And you're just crashing intermittently?
Yeah.
With Dakota? You don't have a place to stay?
I'm getting things together, getting, you know, that aspect of my life under control, but for the time being, this is where I'm at.
So everything you've told April is true?
Yes, sir.
Including the unfortunate passing of your mom?
Yes.
Sorry to hear that.
Is there anything that hasn't been true? Any lies that you've told her? What about some of the other girls you've been talking to?
I mean, those are all just friends. I'm not looking for anything right now.
But we've talked to Zoe, and it seems like you've made a couple friends online, some of whom you've met in teen chat, like April, but then don't meet up with them or make plans. There's just a pattern of other people who've had a story like April's.
The whole thing with Zoe is I never really moved past a point of platonic interest with her in the first place. You know, she has kids, stuff like that, and I'm not looking to involve that in the situation that I'm currently in.
What is your current situation?
I mean, I'm just trying to get my stuff together, so to speak.
Right. What are you kind of working toward?
Getting my own place, getting my license. I already have a car, I just need to get it insured.
So just some basic kind of adult-y things.
Yeah.
Okay. The big overall question, I think, remains sort of just WTF, right? Like, you guys have been friends for a long time. Why has she been so uncertain about, like, what's going on with you guys, and why do you disappear and come back?
I mean, some of the reasons why I would push myself away was because my mother wasn't taking the best care of herself that she could have been. And when I was 14 years old, my father split. And it's recently that I've begun talking to him again and, you know, reconnecting, because it's like, you know, even though my mom's dead, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't want me and him, you know, at each other's throats to our graves. So that's why I pushed myself away to protect myself, so to speak, emotionally, because, you know, with everything that I've got on my plate, I'm trying to finish that first before I bring somebody else in.
Disappearing really isn't the answer, though. Like, going silent. It would have been better to have an explanation prior than just going poof.
True.
I mean, I'm pretty mad at you for all of the disappearances. I get that you want to protect yourself, but you're also hurting me when you do it. You're kind of just disregarding me. And it's kind of a dick move to do that.
It is.
It would have been completely solved had you just explained prior.
You're right, I should have done that.
But instead of doing that, you just kind of, like, threw me away, you know? And it hurt a lot for a long time.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's not okay. I mean, all I could say is that I'm sorry, and I was young and stupid, and I should have went about it more constructively than I did. It's time to grow up, man. It's time to, you know, be forward with myself and other people.
And so what does that mean then? I understand you're trying to get your life together, but April's under the impression that you have feelings for her.
You're a little wishy-washy on your end, and she's a person who has options and can move in whatever direction she wants. I think she needs to know very clearly where you stand.
Yeah.
Do you have feelings for her?
I do. Honestly, I've never connected with somebody like I have with April. There's just been nobody else that makes me feel the way I do whenever I do talk to her. And I can honestly say, right now, standing next to her, I feel pretty damn great. I mean, I want to, keep talking to you. I'm not going to go anywhere anymore.
Ready?
I might barf.
Wait, they're here.
All right, cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
You're not actually gonna barf, are you?
I might.
I don't think you are.
I might. I'm being serious. I might.
Come on, princess.
You're good, you're good, you're good.
No. I'm so nervous.
All right, then. This is it.
No.
Come on.
Hi. Hi. You okay?
I don't feel like it.
Hi, I'm Max.
This is Ashley.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Very nervous.
How you doing? Why are you so nervous?
I might barf.
Take a deep breath.
I'm breathing.
I know, I can hear you breathing. Okay, see, that wasn't so bad.
Yes, it was.
So, Ashley, Robert,
Hey.
Robert, Ashley.
Here we are.
Is it weird to be here?
Yeah.
Does Robert look different than how you've seen him in all the? No, this is exactly what you expected. I'd love to know a little bit about your story.
Me too.
When you met Robert, what was that account?
It was an account of Meet Me
Uh-huh. And why did you?
because I wasn't really comfortable with who I was. There was a lot of abuse that went down. My mom would always comment on how I looked or what I smelled like or if my hair looked bad. And when I told her I was suffering from depression and I self-harmed, she said she didn't want to listen, she didn't care.
I cared to talk to you for hours.
I know. I really like talking to you, so I just kept talking to you. I told you that I wasn't the girl in the pictures and that I was sorry, and I kept saying sorry.
I was just scared. That's the only reason I disappeared. I'm sorry.
When you were talking to Robert, were your feelings for him genuine?
Yes.
And you know what kind of going out with him would entail, right? It's a commitment.
I already take care of everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, when Ashley's mom
Passed.
Passed.
I helped take care of her for years, and I still take care of my dad.
she's a very caring person. And so it's been hard for Ashley because she felt like she had hurt you and that you were upset and didn't want to bother you.
I was depressed, but I get over everything. Don't worry, be happy.
Let's take a 2-second break, get a little fresh air. I want to see how you're feeling. And we'll come right back.
I'm shocked.
Bad shock or good shock?
Don't know.
She seems to really have feelings for you.
Yeah.
But not your type?
I don't know, just my hurts. I'm just scared.
So, not so bad, right?
It still feels pretty overwhelming.
It's a little awkward. What do you, when you sort of sit with him and you look at him and you hear him talking and like making jokes, like, how does that feel?
It feels good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you feeling right now?
Anxious.
The door's open for you to have a relationship with this girl. Are you open to that?
I don't know.
You don't?
I don't know. I'm like nervous, scared.
Of what?
Just falling harder and then being hurt worse.
You got this girl. She's cool. She likes the same stuff you do. That checks a lot of boxes, you know?
True. Just scared of getting hurt.
But if you're scared of getting hurt, that means that you have real feelings for her.
Yeah.
I think you should kind of like feel it out a little more before you have to come to a decision. Is this the guy? He's getting out of the car.
Should I get out?
Yeah. How you doing?
What's up?
What's your name?
Wayne.
You're Wayne.
Yeah.
I'm Max.
What's up?
Hey,
How you
man.
doing?
Neve.
What's up?
How you doing?
What's going on?
This is Robin.
You're the one we've been texting with.
Yeah.
And who's been talking to her for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is your place?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what? Yeah.
So
what's the story?
What's the story?
I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all already know.
We don't.
Not really.
We have
I
we have no idea, to be honest. All we found out was that you weren't the guy in the pictures.
I mean, there's a reason for everything, so.
What's Team Skylar?
Oh, that's my company. We do a lot of work in the community. We do motivational speaking. I do investments, and I do a whole lot.
So, wait, okay. So, I want to hear more about that later. So what's with the weird cell phone business and the fake picture? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's more or less like I wanted to know that she was who she say she is. Like, I want to know that she was real. I mean, people see the houses, they see the cars, they see the materialistic things, and people be fake with you. So dealing with Robin was something that was solid. You know what I'm saying? It was like she didn't see all the materialistic stuff. She liked me for me, so.
Wait a minute.
Really?
Hold on.
Wait, really?
Really?
But then what's with the fake picture?
The fake picture came about because before she seen me in the beginning, I overheard a conversation she said about somebody she liked it, and it wasn't me.
You saw the picture of the guy she was liking in the chat room.
Yeah, and I just went with it.
But did you post that photo? Or did someone else put that up?
Posted the photo.
Did you say that was you?
Yeah, I said it was me because I thought that was what she liked. So it was like, okay, cool. Because I really want to talk to her. Listen, I just wanted love. I just wanted to find love. This was genuine to me. This was the only female in my life that was genuine with me. So it was like, yo, I like this chick, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, I can be myself, and that felt good.
Okay. It's nice to hear you say that, but that doesn't explain the whole cell phone communication
Well, the cell phone
thing.
communication thing, well, I've always like been in relationships and stuff, you know what I mean? Like when I first met her, I was married, you know what I mean? So
you were married?
Yeah, I was married, you know what I'm saying, with a kid and everything. So I had other things going on, so it was like I can't just give you direct contact to me.
So when was you out this married?
That ended 2 years ago.
Okay.
So after that, though, after you guys got divorced or separated or whatever, like, you could have given Robin your number.
Yeah, I could have, but things had got too deep at that point. See, I left that marriage and was dealing with someone else. I've always had like a whole lot of girlfriends, you know what I mean? So it was too much piled on top of it. Like, yo, how do I tell her this? Because maybe if I tell her, maybe she may back off, and then it was like, dang, I didn't want to lose her like that. She was just always like my, you know, solid situation over here, you dig? Even to me having her send me money at one point in time, that comes from me wanting to know if she was really like me for me.
You got the money and then...
You ain't never get the phones?
Well, I had the phone because I didn't need the phone. They were just trying to see like...
That was like a test.
A test, to see what she do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you kind of left her high and dry.
What do you make of all this?
I don't
'Cause
know,
this is
it's
like...
stupid. You just lying. Why you just waited for
'Cause I couldn't
three
tell-
years?
Listen,
Listen.
listen.
3 years you waited to just keep stringing me along
I had
like
to
a
know, Ma.
little old dog or whatever on the leash.
You here now, so you gonna come home or not? Which one you want? You want the Maserati or the Audi? I'm just saying, look at it as a blessing.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say you might wanna just throw in an apology to Robin.
Well, I mean, we getting to that. But,
Okay, okay.
I mean, we're gonna get
As long
to
as
that.
you get
I'm
to
waiting
it.
for it.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, we here now. I'm sorry. Happens. Life happens. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I'm here now. You're gonna take it, you're gonna leave it.
Stop telling me if I'm gonna take it or leave it.
I mean, because at the end of the day,
It ain't
life goes
about-
on,
it
though.
ain't about
No, listen
taking
what I'm saying.
or
Life
leaving
goes on. So I am Wayne. You understand what I'm saying? That smart, wise, intelligent person that she talked to, the guy that she liked, that's me. It's still me. I mean, it's still me.
If you're gonna build a relationship, it's gotta be built on trust, though. You did lie. She's a little hurt.
She thought you guys were in a relationship.
Solid in a relationship. In my heart, we was. But being the fact that, you know, she's so far away, I got stuff going on here.
Well, sure.
She was gone. I had in-house girls that I could, you know, have sex with and do all that stuff. So it was like, yo, you way up there, I'm here. I still got to get my rocks off. So.
He's
honest.
He's
Yeah.
honest now. I mean,
Right.
but how is she? Look, if I were her, I'd be saying to myself, how will I know that he's not on the internet meeting some other girl?
Go right back what you just said, trust.
Right.
So there's something you work on that you rebuild.
So you're
It's
willing
a
to
process.
rebuild her trust.
Nothing about my life, nothing about who I am changes.
But are you in a situation now where you could really
be in a relationship? Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you feel about Robin?
I mean, I love her. I mean, it's like, she's like more like family now. I mean, it's been 3 years, man. We've been talking a long time, you know what I'm saying? So that was my escape from a whole lot of things. I gave her a part of me that she got the most valuable part. She got my heart, nobody else has it. I mean, I love her.
Fully,
You know this
know
person?
her.
Really?
Yep.
Hi.
Hello. Obviously, I was the one running the fake profile, so.
What's your name?
Erica.
Erica. Max.
Nice to meet you.
Do you guys know each other?
Online, yeah. I added her as myself on my Facebook page.
Why?
I think I was slowly making that transition to tell her. Because I think the first thing I said to you was like, wow, that's crazy how people are using your pictures. That was to get her to accept like my friend request and me as a person, and then eventually kind of come clean about the whole situation. And obviously I know Ryan. It's Erica.
Ryan?
That's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not even recognize her.
Yeah, I low-key dated Ryan like 10 years ago. Yeah.
Ryan. Do you remember that?
I remember that, but I didn't recognize you walking up.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
You guys dated in high school?
Yeah, like we did.
Dated for like 3 weeks.
Continue.
Okay. So really the profile got started is because when me and Ryan were dating, that was kind of during the time my mother was just not about like relationships, can't talk to boys, nothing. So we were told not to talk to each other. Like no communication, nothing. Me being, you know, head over heels kind of person, I was like, I need to talk to him. I, you know, was on MySpace, I think I had MySpace and Facebook, and there was this like account called like Fake Busters, where they used to bust like fake profiles. Her pictures were one of them. I mean, she had like a YouTube video saying she was real. I was like, dang, like this is kind of like the perfect person to use, you know? Someone wanted to call me out, well, hey, here's the YouTube video saying like I'm a real person.
I was the pawn.
But it kind of enabled me to still talk to him and him being kind of receiving of it. Other than that, it's kind of been like a one and done kind of conversation with other people.
Glad I know that now.
Well, we know that you did reach out to like other local Cleveland people.
Yeah, that profile was kind of the almost like last word profile. I mean, throughout the years of like high school and just like bullying and all this, you know, kind of just drama, people would always block me on my personal page and like would say whatever, then block me. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I just hop on as Nicole and, you know, get my last word in, and then that was it.
Why not just shut it off? You can just deactivate a profile.
Right. So.
Why is it still up?
I mean.
Like, using her pictures and her name.
Right.
And then separately as yourself, like, being friends with them. It's like.
It's kind of my life up in a way.
And me personally, and I'm not saying that this isn't an important issue, but I had other things going on in my life that I was just kind of like, all right, I'll get to this later, so.
So weird.
Do you guys have anything more you want to say right now?
I don't know. I'm so upset.
Okay. I think they're pretty shocked. They need to kind of process all this, go back to the hotel, and maybe meet up tomorrow.
Okay.
So weird. I didn't recognize
Dude,
it.
I saw her come up the hill and I'm like, I know this bitch. All these people.
Someone's coming. Someone's coming right now.
Coming this way.
One person, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait a second. Do you know this guy?
You know who that is?
But obviously he's walking this way. Are you?
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Neve.
Jose.
Jose?
Yeah.
Same first name.
Yeah.
Sorry, Max.
You're Jay, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you just fly here?
Yeah, I just got here not so long ago.
Did you really fly here?
Yeah.
From
Buffalo.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay.
So why did you disappear for 3 weeks?
Well, it's just like, it got too serious, it got too real. They didn't want to do all this.
You didn't want to do all this?
No.
Okay, so you just disappeared for 3 weeks.
I mean,
You
like,
couldn't-
as in, like...
You couldn't just tell me that you were okay. You couldn't just tell me that you know, I was worried thinking that something happened to you. Okay, so you could have just told me that you were okay. You didn't have to disappear for 3 weeks.
This is not what I wanted to do, you know. It kind of went too far, you know. I'm not homosexual, like, you know. I'm a straight guy, I have a girlfriend.
So your feelings were never there?
Never, nothing was there.
Perfect.
So wait, so why did you talk to Jose at all?
Well, okay, so the thing was that, you know, I made the profile way back. I was in a dark place. I was depressed, I was drinking every single night. I was going through a lot of bull. So I was like, yo, let me beat somebody else for a day or two. I got addicted to it, so I see it on that profile. I was getting a lot of attention. People were writing me, they were like, hey, good morning. I was bored. I want to be somebody else. On my regular profile, I wasn't getting all that stuff.
There was one girl we talked to that said that Jay invited her to move to California.
It was just fun and games, because I wanted to feel like I wanted to feel important. Then I ended up seeing his episode, you know. He'd been through some things when he was younger, so have I. I contacted him, I was like, hey, how are you? You know, we were talking and stuff like that. You know, the thing that he's been through, what I've been through, been abused or whatever you want to call it. We have a connection, I've been through it as well. So I kind of related to him. Me and him, we could probably be friends.
Right. And you guys made a connection.
Yeah. Then he made a profile called, you know, Rose the Catfish. That pissed me off, you know.
Hold on. You saw that he made another profile?
Rosa Seafish. When people saw the episode, you know, they liked the voice.
I mean, I don't know what's going on.
You know, so they started asking me, you know, make funny videos, you know, like make skits. Yes, 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 yes! I'm excited that you guys are here.
He's wearing wigs and stuff. It's like, damn, that really bothered me. It hurt me, because I'm like, yo, you know, there's people who really been abused when they're younger. You want to go on TV and make a joke about it, you know? That pissed me off.
You didn't like that?
I don't like that.
He was having fun and goofing around.
It's not about having fun, but I was like, you're taking it as a joke, man. He makes a big scene about I was abused when I was a child or whatever he'd been through, which I understand, because, you know, I you know, we have a connection. I've been through it as well. What happened that was real, he wants to come and just make it, you know, as a joke. That's wrong to me.
It's a character.
Yeah, but...
I mean, it's...
Okay, but why is he doing that?
So you decided the friendship that you were building...
That's it. It's done. It's done. It's over.
It's done. So you continued to talk to him because you wanted what? What was the intention?
It was just to troll him, to bother him, you know, for the stupid he did. It's all fake, man. It's all fake. It's all bullcrap.
That's to talk to someone for 2 months. Were your feelings ever more than that?
No, nothing, never.
I will never care for nobody again. I will never love. I'm just gonna end up close to myself just to be away from everything and everybody.
You talk to this guy.
Oh, there he is. Hey,
Nice to see you.
What's up?
Nothing much. Max. Hey.
All right. Thanks for meeting us. Come on in.
No problem.
I'll sit. You can sit there, Caitlin.
Okay. All right.
So, thank you for meeting up with us. You're here, finally. You are who you claim to be. I mean, you're you.
Right.
I think it'd be helpful if we maybe started with your side of all of this and some of the confusion that you think Caitlin might be feeling.
Well, I don't know exactly what she's confused about right now, but I mean, when we started talking, you know, we're having good conversation with each other and we were talking a lot. Went from doing that to barely nothing. There was like no communication hardly at all. Like it would be like literally 2 texts a day, maybe if I was lucky. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, but I can find plenty of time out of a day to talk to somebody I'm interested in.
Okay. I mean, I kind of want to respond.
Okay.
I work a new job and my phone's not on me. My phone is actually in a locker all day. So it wasn't intentional for me to, you know, respond late to you or for me to not text you as much. And I have a 2-year-old daughter. She's my life. It's not like the father's in the picture and helps me at all. It's not like that.
I don't understand the excuse, to be honest. I work more hours than you and I can find time. I know you have a daughter, I understand that. But you're acting like when you get home, you just throw your phone in a trash can and then that's it.
Look, we know a thing or two about long-distance relationships. We've been traveling and on the road for 5 years, so we get it. It's hard to match up. It's just the reality of long-distance relationships.
But see, I've been in a long-distance relationship, and that's never been a problem. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that from the time you get home until you go to bed, you were so busy you can't pick up the phone.
You're fighting with me because I didn't text you throughout the day or because I didn't respond to you. It's not that I intentionally meant to do it, and I've told you this before. It's not that
That is intentional.
It is not intentional.
You're saying you can't make time.
It's
So
not that I
if you
can't make time. It's just
say
that you want me to make time when you want the time.
So if you can make time, why didn't you?
I'm saying when I do make time, like at nighttime when my daughter's in bed and she's all taken care of, you get mad at me for not texting you throughout the day or texting you. I mean, you have to understand where I'm coming from. I'm a single mom.
I don't, because I've dated single moms and I've never had this problem.
Look, this didn't work. Didn't work. And I think that you're still blaming it on her. I can tell by your huffing and lack of eye contact with her that what's the gripe?
I just really don't like when someone, you know, says they're about something or they get your hopes up for this and that, and then they just fall through on everything. Like, you should have just said, you know what, I don't got the time for you, that's it, and it would have been fine. But you're sitting here leading me on. That's not cool. But like I said, it's whatever. She doesn't feel that way. I'm done with the conversation.
I guess I wasn't putting enough time in. I mean, I have feelings for you. Like, they're still there. I wouldn't be crying right now if I didn't feel the way I feel. Like, this is heartbreaking.
Can you understand that she had trouble finding all the time that you wanted?
I don't believe a word was coming out of her mouth, to be honest. Nothing more to talk about.